Hey, Drew here, Drew T. Jackson, coaching, speaking, and training. It's Wednesday, we're talking about communication, and I have a question for you today. Can you make someone understand? Can you make someone understand? Can you truly make someone understand? I've been thinking about this. I had a conversation with a woman yesterday she's an educational trainer for a large bank in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and part of the challenge that she's going through is that when her head tellers come to her and they find out in the HR department that there's an issue with some of the tellers on her team, they find out when it's at a point where it's over, that it's time to move on. The head teller's ready to let go of the teller on their team, and they're at an impasse and they need to move on. And so I was talking about communication training, but I was thinking about this question: can you make a person understand in a conversation? What she was saying and what this trainer was asking me is, can you help me equip my people so that they can better communicate early on to their team members effectively, and then also that they can communicate to us what's going on so we can help make sure and ensure that there's understanding. And the idea of understanding, can you make a person understand? Can you make a person understand? Can someone force you to understand something? Maybe a better way to think about it. And I don't know if you've ever made this statement, but I've made it where I've said, I will never understand that person, or I will never understand why they made that decision. And usually it comes after you watch the news and there's a horrific serial killer found or mass murder, and you think, I will never understand the psychology of that person. And in reality, what are we saying? We're not saying that I'm unable to understand. What we're saying is that I'm unwilling. I don't want to go down that road. I don't want to even try to understand why that person made the decision that they made. And so when I ask you that question again, can you make a person understand? I don't believe that you can make a person understand. Now, it is your responsibility as the communicator to do everything that you can in your power. And we have no excuses nowadays. We are equipped with the tools, the resources, the assessments. I do a communication workshop where I can tell you the personality type and how your people like to be communicated to. And as the one communicating, those in leadership, those who I talk to, as the one communicating, it's your responsibility to communicate clearly, communicate effectively, communicate frequently, and communicate, most importantly, in the way that that person will best understand. You might say, I've told them exactly how I want to hear it. Well, that's the golden rule, right? Treat people how you want to be treated. But the platinum rule says treat people how they want to be treated. And I love that I'm able to equip people to better do that. But still, if they still do not understand you and what you're communicating, after you've done all that you can do to communicate frequently, communicate clearly, communicate over and over again, ask them questions, communicate in a way that they would best understand based on their personality type, if you've done all that and they still don't understand, it is my belief that it is not an ability problem. It's a desire problem. It's a willingness problem. They are not unable to understand you. They are unwilling to understand and accept what it is that you are trying to communicate. And once you recognize and you have determined that you have come to that point, that's an impasse, and that's when it's time to start talking other options, which are how do we best move in different directions and separate from the relationship or the agreement that we find ourselves in currently. So can you make a person understand? I don't believe so, but you have a lot of responsibilities before you can come to a conclusion that they are unwilling to understand. All right, I hope that helps you today. Communication, it's tremendous and most important for your leadership. Drew T. Jackson, coaching, speaking, and training. Talk to me if you want to learn more about how you can equip your people to better communicate. Talk to you soon. Bye.